Hey, welcome to the Latoya Carr Show. Where is my handbook? The name was inspired because life comes at such a fast pace and it does not come with a handbook. Therefore, this podcast will talk about the many different facets of everyday living, and that can include parenting, business, family, friendships, relationships, basically everything that you will sit at your kitchen table and talk about. I started the podcast on anchor.fm. For those of you that are listening who may be wanting to start your own podcast, go to anchor.fm to start your own podcast. It is free and very easy to navigate. Again, welcome to the Latoya Carr Show. Where is my handbook? Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I have talked to you guys, but in tonight's episode, we're going to talk about the recent riots and protests that have been going on, in the world today, and just some of my thoughts about it. So, first, I would like to say that I don't believe in the whole violent protesting, but I do appreciate this time around that there have been a lot of peaceful protests. I also don't believe in looting and rioting, but at the same time, I do know that people are fed up. And so I'm not going to be naive to that fact. I'm not going to dismiss or badmouth those people, really, dismiss their feelings, because we're hurting, especially in the Black community. I do see that during this time, there are a lot more people that are involved outside of the Black community. And I really can appreciate that, because as much as I hear my Black folks talking about, the people that are out there, or not really talking about them, but just questioning their motives, I will say one of the things that I said the other day was, we really can't talk because we're not out there. So I appreciate the people that are on the front lines. I appreciate the people that don't look like us that are helping to protest. What I don't appreciate is the people that don't look like us, but they are using symbolisms to kind of keep our vote, kind of keep our money, in house. I don't like that. So while it's good that they may be stepping out there to talk about Black Lives Matter, I need it to not just be talk. I need it to not just be a coupon. I need it to, not just be for the moment. One of my friends was talking about lobbying. I don't know much about it, but just reading some of his posts, I'm like, man, it's interesting. And so I think that during this time, if we could just take some time to educate ourselves, and if you don't know, ask questions. If you aren't one of those people that want to be on the front line, maybe donate. It's all kind of different things that we all can do as a whole to help this cause. It's not just about being out there on the front lines protesting. There are different things that can be done behind the scenes. Like for me, I haven't been out there, but I've supported by sending a cash app to someone that I know that was going out there. Like that was my way of saying, like, I want to be involved, but I can't be at this time. It definitely makes me think what I can do better, because it's just so much going on. We're all like grieving. We're all hurting. And so it's just a really bad time. Like for my 16-year-old to text me the other day, last Friday, and just be like, why are we still going through this? Like we fight and we're still here. For him to be 16 and dealing with things that my great grandparents dealt with, that's really sad. It just shows how much progress we did not make in America. And it's so funny because being prior Air Force, I'm like, we go to other countries and fight for their freedom all the time. But the reality of it is we're not even free in the country we live in. We're not even free for the country that we fight for. We're not even free, putting on the uniform. And so like, it just makes you wonder, it makes you question, what are we doing this for? Who are we doing this for? It's so sad. Like, I don't regret my time in the Air Force because I feel like it definitely helped me and mold me to be the woman, mother, the boss that I am right now. But when I look back, what did I really wear the uniform for? You can't help but question it. And it's just so sad. Like, I just, sometimes you don't know what to do. You don't know what to say. But it's just sad, like I have a good brother that's a cop. And his plight last night was, well, what about the good that we do? What about, the positive things that we do in the community? And my words to him was, listen here, bruh, I appreciate what you do and all of that and the other good cops. I said, but right now, you can't. I understand that you're there and you've been treated bad and you shouldn't have been, but it doesn't negate the deaths that has happened. It doesn't negate the feelings that people are feeling right now for the injustices that have been happening. So I feel like the good cops, the cops that think that they have, created this positive light, or they try to create this positive light in the urban communities, I don't think that they deserve to have this fight right now. I think that they need to allow the community to grieve. This is a grieving moment in our life, and I feel like they don't get the option to say what if right now or what about right now. Like, you don't get the option to say that. You just, like, that's just how I feel. You don't get the option to question why somebody doesn't trust cops. And just because people don't, trust or have certain feelings towards cops, it doesn't mean that they are grouping everybody in that category. But we have to recognize that people are hurting, people are grieving, and that's just where it is. It's unfair to even remotely try to question or invoke what they feel is necessary or what they feel is unfair to them right now, them being the cops. Like, that's unnecessary to do right now. What needs to happen is let the people mourn, let the people grieve, and come up with some plans so people can build that trust up again. Because right now, this ain't it. That's just the reality of it. This is not it. And so I know it's hard for him, especially being a black man, because it's like, yes, I wear the uniform, but it's other, underlying things that goes with that. And then on top of that, I'm a black man. On top of that, I'm a black father. On top of that, I've been stereotyped, even though I wear the uniform. So yeah, but at the same time, I'm not here to deal with them right now. I'm here to see how I can help the black community. I'm not here to deal with a police officer and their feelings. That's not what I'm here for. And I'm also not here to pacify my white friends. This is not a time to be pacifying anybody, because if you know that you're a good person, if you know that you're not racist, if you know that you don't treat black people different, now is not the time for you to sit and comment about not everybody thinks this way. That's like a null and void comment. Like, why would you even think to say that? I'm not here to share any memes about there's good white people out here. No, I'm not here to do any of that. Any of it. Because if everything was equal, then we wouldn't be here right now. So I don't think that anybody needs to be worried about their white friends. I don't think that anybody needs to be worried about the so-called good cops. I think that everybody needs to know what the underlying issue is, which is racism. Because if racism didn't exist, you wouldn't have to say, but what about? But what about? You know, what about? What about it? What about you? It's not about you. It is not about you. It is not about you. It is about us. It is about us and how we can be treated equally. It is about us and how we can stop living in slavery. It is about us and how we can stop living in bondage. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. So, again, I hate that, it's been a while since I've talked to my audience, but I just wanted to come and touch base on that tonight, and I'll be putting out another podcast shortly, because I'm definitely behind, and I definitely have a lot of things that can be talked about in this season. So I look forward to seeing what you guys think about this episode. I look forward to recording the next episode. And to my black people out there, stay safe, stay vigilant, stay hopeful, stay fearless, and just keep being a boss. Like, don't dim your light. Keep shining. Because I do believe that this is going to be a change. I'm very hopeful of that. I have not seen so many white people protest, and that is what we need. Like, yeah, we need to stand together. We definitely need to stand together. But when you have people that don't look like us that are tired, I believe that signifies a great change. That signifies a great change. So stay prayerful, stay hopeful, stay fearless, and keep being a boss, keep shining. Until next time, guys.